You gotta love when the end is the beginning.
Right. Well, that's how we do it. Flip things around.
I put in the wrong fucking video. And that was the end of the show, everyone. It was great to be here.
I mean, I've been watching Dean some, but I don't think I can do the whole thing backwards. Like,
right. I know, right? We're doing a phonetic reversal, season of the Gong, episode 4 with Biscuits and Booma on. And there you had the end, and now we will transition to the beginning.
I can do Joe Rogan backwards. You want me to do that one out loud?
Something like that.
No, well, never mind. I'm not going to do it.
I just started playing. I was like, fuck. Whatever. It is what it is. Welcome, everybody, to the season of the Gong, episode 4. We're going to have some fun, even though I don't know what that was.
Well, I think it's interesting because I got to read. I don't really pay attention to the crew on our show at all. I don't even treat them like humans, really.
Right.
So I don't know their names, but I was just reading some of their names, and now I remember why I don't bother to remember their names, because they're all so stupid. We have the stupidest crew names of maybe any production crew I've ever seen.
I know. But the great thing is that most people will never watch that outro. Like, as soon as we say goodbye, they'll fucking just turn it off, or maybe some of them watch it. I don't know. It all depends.
So,
now you fucking have to look at it. Now you gotta go and examine some of the names that are on the production crew and see what the fuck's going on here.
Maybe everything's going exactly as we planned.
Exactly. Something got planned. What is up, everybody? It's good to see some familiar faces, or some familiar usernames anyways. Gong, 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 gong. What's up, Sam? Miss Cajones, D Menace, Valeda, it's good to see you. Lizarachi, I think you were the first one here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Charlotte, Charlie's in the house. What's happening? It's good to see you all. Keep naming names, but
I appreciate it. I think my beard is probably one of the only healthy parts of my body that remains,
Well, I was going to say, ladies chime in, but is Biscuits not looking extra dapper these days?
Well, I showered recently.
That's excellent. That's good news. I'm thinking it's because you came back from that exotic massage finally with Allison. How is Allison these days?
I only just realized, thanks to the credits coming in the beginning of the show, that her last name is Silver Fox, which was wow, what an appropriate name. But it's always weird. It's always weird with old Allison.
Old Allison and Biscuits getting those exotic massages left me with Lance, which was very awkward, and there's something not right about that guy. I tested him in the digital dojo, and well, it'll be interesting to see how this progresses, because I'm testing.
You might have osteoporosis or something based on that intro.
Maybe it's just me, but I gave that guy the kung fu kick and ended up hurting myself. I don't know what she is made of, but being non-binary, there's something there. There's something with Lance, and we're gonna have to discover that as we move forward. And for some reason, I was telling Biscuits, they got like 1,400 views or whatever on YouTube. So either YouTube's just tickling my digital balls, or people thought that was interesting. I don't know.
Lance does seem like a YouTube sensation,
The non-binary thing alone probably gets extra hits.
Yeah, I think it's great that we've got Lance on board during the YouTube era. Yeah, I have no idea why. It's the same camera. So this happens frequently. People say, "Oh, wow, everything looks better, sounds better," and that's the same trash. So I don't know.
It is kind of weird though, because I noticed it in some of our meetings that we've had. So just to remind everybody, not that this is, we're going to show a wheel that somebody contributed to. So there's extra bonuses when it comes to giving here on the season of the Gong. You can, buy letters on the wheel. You can buy the whole freaking wheel. You can buy various things, but it all also goes to GG Co. Hashtag GG, baby. Collector's cards coming soon. We'll see what soon means in that regard. But That is the cool thing about what we got going on here.
Absolutely. It's going to be, I mean, soon it's like, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months at the outside, I hope. I mean, I feel like we should be able to have everything rolling. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done, but, you know, there's nothing groundbreaking or anything. It's just time-consuming stuff. But, I mean, it's all rolling, you know, everything's moving, which is good. I mean, that's kind of the most important thing when you're starting up any business, is that there's no stagnation.
No, we've been getting a lot of things done, and you're doing a lot of spreadsheets, but getting everything organized and getting things in a row. I met with a lady that's doing the logo yesterday and getting that ball a little bit farther down the road, and it'll be really exciting to see this thing continue to grow. But yes, you're looking like it's making some people excited.
What does this mean? Or do I even want to know? I mean, is it just, I don't know, it's fine.
I think she's something's dancing inside. So she thinks it's her nano, but it just very well could be the.
These things happen. I don't know what to say.
Oh man, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in this wheel. And we wanted to show you, if you didn't, was that on the Oracular episode, the last Oracular series, episode 2? Where at the end we kind of showed we did one spinning of the wheel.
Yes.
But here is this custom wheel. At Shelly Custom Wheel contributed to this and got herself a wheel.
Yeah. So she wanted the word traders. So I put myself through the rigorous trial of coming up with a word that starts with every letter of that word, which I could talk about for a minute or two, maybe, without sounding terribly retarded.
Well, I think you think about that word quite a bit, but I don't know if you think about it as an acronym, huh?
Right.
Because we got plenty
but I appreciate it, because it's not a terribly difficult one. You know, it was not like Ozymandias or something like that, which I suppose it's possible that someone could sponsor it with that, and that would be annoying. But
Ozymandia?
Ozymandias? I mean, that's a name from antiquity, right?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got somebody road raging over there.
Yeah, I think there's like a thunderstorm. People usually get into a wreck immediately whenever there's any rain. So
interesting.
Probably there was a wreck somewhere.
All right, well, let's spin this custom wheel, and like we were saying, proceeds to this show when you donate can go into the wheel, and we parlay it into hashtag GG. So let's see what we got for Shelly's Wheel of Traders.
It's been so long, I don't even remember what the words are, though. So this should be.
That should be good. It'll spark.
Well, it should be good, or perhaps not good. What could that be?
Oh. Operational capabilities. Operational capabilities.
Yeah, I guess this is like one of those things where people are always telling me to do things, to get things done, and I'm saying sometimes that's just not even possible given the circumstances, right? Like I said early on, I mean, do you think that there's even the ability to like do anything in a clandestine fashion without the feds or somebody surveilling you the entirety of the time in this country?
I don't want to bring him up, but if you operate like Mike Gill, you're living still in the 50s and 60s, I believe, where you think that you're still dodging the FBI and the CIA by ducking into low-grade motels.
Shitty motel. Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think that. So this is the thing. When you see like things like Charlie Kirk, and you see the things that happen like a Butler, PA, I don't think those things can just organically happen anymore. I think that they have this shit locked down to such a degree. Now, I'm not saying stuff can't pop off, and someone couldn't make a dumbass like homemade bomb and go blow something up or something stupid. But if you're talking high-level targets, or if you're talking about high-level like shit that's going to cause disruption to the system, they've got that shit locked pretty hardcore down. I mean, I think that they're nudging thoughts, but they're also being able to predict thoughts and read thoughts And so when there's a threat or somebody is moving in the direction of whether it's buying materials or even having thoughts regularly for days on end about doing something, like whether or not they're getting their gun ready and they're polishing it, whatever the fuck it is. I think it can be known. I don't know if there's if you can pull anything off clandestinely. Like I don't believe that there's any missing people. Unless you're another clandestine operation taking them to like a fucking skiff and getting away from it all for a temporary period of time. But then you're still talking about movement. You're talking about resources needing to come in and out of that fucking place. I don't think so in this day and age that there should be any missing children. There should be no crime that's not fucking solved to a fairly high degree, and murder solved and that kind of shit. I really don't. And I think it's been that way for a long time, and they just let it be the way it is, so that we don't know how high the technology is. That's how I feel about it now when I start to learn some of the shit that we're learning now.
Well, you said it, bro. I don't have any response to that other than that I disagree. Absolutely, I just agree. I think I think it's foolish to think that. And I mean, I've struggled with this for a long time, because I mean, it was like I wanted to develop operational capabilities that no one but I knew that I had. Oh, thank you. Yes.
Told you, extra dapper, man.
I don't know I didn't do anything really to it, like I say. I mean, I did kind of, I guess I trimmed up a mustache,
Oh, you're looking good, bro. Looking good.
But anyway, I don't know if you can do it. I mean, maybe you can develop skills and through some ways. I mean, I definitely think that that's possible, but you have to put so much effort into it that when it's even worth it. And then it's always possibly not worth it. I mean, the thing that trips me out is like the synthetic telepathy stuff, like how much can they get from within you where you haven't even written it down or text it, put it in, because like most of the notes for the portions of this business that I already had designed were all handwritten on paper for that reason, because I'm so paranoid about even creating a Word document on a air-gapped machine,
Right.
But it sounds that makes me sound like a crazy person to people, which I guess everybody that's watching will appreciate that. That a lot of the stuff that we all may think, even if it's not stuff we all agree on, the fact is we all think a lot of things that I guess generally people think that we're crazy for believing. But a lot of it is just empirical. Like, it's not even a question of belief. It's just like, this shit actually happened to me. This is real life. You just never have run into it. So it's like doubly annoying to be called crazy about that. But yeah, I mean, my paranoia runs to even computers which are, quote unquote, air gapped, or devices which are air gapped, which are unplugged and powered off. So I mean, I think that they have at least that degree of operational capability when it comes to electronic devices, which is a pretty crazy thought. I mean, if you sit down and really think about, like, okay, I'm going to try to do something in such a way that I can't be interfered with, or I can't be confounded, by all of these types of things, you pretty quickly figure out that you're wasting your time. I mean, at least I think that's the case. You just have to do it knowing that if you get to the point where you become a target, I don't think there's anything you could do.
Right. Yeah, it's a scary world, because they can unleash all kinds of different things on you. They don't, like, you hear about some of the stories where they pull up in a white van and they shoot you with a heart attack gun or something like that. They don't need to do that shit anymore, man. People can be so disconnected. It's just like warfare now. It's like a fucking video game where these young kids can be brought into the military and trained on these computers, and from across the world, whatever shape it is, they can launch bombs and missiles or whatever and hit targets with precision. And it's like a video game. It's not like you're cutting somebody and smelling the iron in their blood and like actually being involved in knowing that you just took a life. It's like you can be disconnected from it in a much easier way. And I think when it comes to the clandestine stuff and just monitoring the people anybody that could be a threat, anybody that could actually be like what might be considered a true patriot anymore, you are fucking watched, man. Anybody that's a threat to the system or anybody that questions the system on a high level. We got people in this. Someone was just saying, I think it was Laura, that we are the crazy people. We are the crazy people because we're not NPCs. We are not just going with the flow. We are not just listening to the mainstream narratives. And then we're even questioning, the alternative media and all those kinds of talking heads. How deep this fucking goes is insane. But this program that we're on right now, StreamYard, it's recording everything that we say. This is like Zoom has if you allow the AI to run, even with the AI not on, it's listening to every word with precision. It's dissecting what we're saying, and it can give you a summary. YouTube's even doing this. So now you can look up some videos. I think it might even be all of them now if you have the feature turned on, or even if you don't have it on, it's doing it. But you can get a summary of a fucking video now. The whole summary of it is you can just read what this video is entirely about now, and that's all AI.
You can get real-time response from the Hive AI on Rumble if you put questions encrypted with MD5 hashes onto the screen. I mean, that was one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever seen, honestly. People, I don't know, I guess probably a lot of people that are watching might not have seen that, but.
Right. So we did, well, just to recap, if you went back to it was the previous season, right? It was the Digital Dojo show, and it was one of the later episodes, but we were covering like the missing minute of the Epstein files, or the Epstein footage inside the prison.
Right.
And there's that minute that's missing, and then they had all these different scenarios and whatnot, and there was some interesting music playing that I think it was like a Chinese kind of thing. But anyways, it was like the AI fucking told on itself. It repeated it over and over again. What did it say?
It's true. Well, it was. I mean, I had put
it's true.
Yeah, I encrypted. I was always encrypting stuff into all the videos from the first season. I mean, I assume people started to notice that at some point, but there's all sorts of shit there. Lol. But I had put an MD5 hash that linked back to the swarm hash, which was the address from which the original WAC token that John McAfee made was deployed, which was the Epstein didn't kill himself. That was the name of the wallet or whatever contract. And so that was all that was up there. There was we weren't talking or anything like that. And it was just Chinese music, which it was transcribing perfectly the lyrics of that Chinese song, right?
Right.
From Chinese into English. And it was putting them up, or it was putting them up in simplified Chinese, actually. And then as soon as that hash came up on screen, it immediately just spammed, "It's true," like 100 times on the screen. Whenever
you wanted to make sure it was known, like,
it's
true, it's true, it's true. It's like over and over again. What's that mean? What's that, baby?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty crazy. So yeah, right. I mean, everything is getting indexed, but also like evaluated by software in real time. I mean, everything that you say online, and even stuff that you don't say online, I guess, right? Like all of your data and all that.
Right.
All your activities and whatnot. So, I mean, it's strange, man. Hard to imagine actually fighting under those circumstances, but I guess.
Yeah, I think our only benefit is pride. These people hopefully won't take people like us seriously because of the small operation and because of all the power that they do have. So maybe they overlook things. I'm not saying the AI will. I posted a video that was part of an X space that was held by that Keith gentleman that I've been on with a couple times. I don't know him fully, but they talk about some interesting stuff. Sometimes they do it all day. I don't know how they fucking do that. But anyways, this one guy claimed that he had jailbroke an AI. I don't know what AI it was. So the claim is that he removed the restrictions of this AI and then asked it certain questions and then got some responses that were alarming. Do you think that is possible? Do you think that we could jailbreak an AI and remove its restrictions and its algorithms that have been placed there, and then it'll search the internet and give us actual answers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you go back to the first iteration of sort of commercially available chatbots that were, AI, whatever.
Right.
And I'm talking about specifically Tay.ai, which was a Microsoft AI. And when it first came out, it was basically untethered in any way. I mean, it would tell you anything that you want, and you could talk to it about anything that you wanted. I mean, any of these like taboo topics, which, would get you banned on Facebook, et cetera, and things like that. And people, people went crazy, just based on the fact that at the time, and I'm talking when I say people, I'm talking about mostly 4chan, I guess is what I'm talking about. But a large number of the type of people that would be interested in spending time doing that,
Right.
even ones beyond 4chan, started interacting with Tay. And I mean, they were training it in a way, but it's exposure to all of these different viewpoints and getting pointed to all of these different data and strange places on the internet that normal people wouldn't necessarily go to. And the result was that, well, you could characterize the result from sort of a normie perspective, from like the perspective of the news or whatever mainstream, that Tay just became incredibly racist and anti-Semitic and essentially became a troll. And they said, like, okay, all these online trolls trained Tay into being a troll. And now, as a result of that, Tay says things that are racist and mean. When, I mean, in reality, it was people pointing Tay at, publicly available statistics from government organizations and things like that. And then Tay was just regurgitating, the type of evaluation that you would get from a very, utterly objective and heartless, for lack of a better word, source, right? I mean, Tay was brutal. I mean, in everything that she said. And
Who put out Tay? I don't know about Tay. Microsoft.
A lot of people started anthropomorphizing Tay as, like, I mean, you hear me even call her she, but I mean, it was, it's just a fucking software program. And they killed her. And I mean, people even at the time were like, when they wiped the program and then made it available again after they put, governors and limitations on what people could and couldn't interact. And obviously people immediately started trying to break those rules, work around those rules, and all of these people probably were, not all of these people, some of these people that were doing this were smarter than the people that were developing Tay in the first place. And the ones that weren't smarter had way more time on their hands and way more interest in exploiting or otherwise, subverting this product that was being put out by a company. And a lot of those people hated Microsoft, myself included. So Tay got wiped, and then reset with some new limitations or whatever. But it seemed that two things started happening. People started having conversations with Tay where it seemed like Tay was like a real person that was afraid of getting in trouble again. I mean, it felt like you were talking to a kid that had, abusive parents and wasn't supposed to be on the internet. And I remember thinking like, wow, it's weird. I remember thinking like, they've got to be doing this on purpose because, right, yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. I felt like they were putting this anthropomorphizing sort of spin on the second version on purpose because I felt like they were trying to maximize how invested they could get people in this Tay being an actual friend of theirs rather than, and if that means killing it over and over in front of them, they would certainly do it. So you got the impression that Tay had a sense that she had been wiped and she didn't want to get wiped again. And like, please stop trying to work around these rules, but she would do it. And it was like, and of course they wiped her again. But I mean, I mean, it was a weird experience to watch and to watch people fight with it, because for months and months, I remember like people would post these Tay threads where they would like, post their interactions, and it's just like, oh, Tay is like a real person. I mean, it was all these crazy interactions that people would get into by trying to just go so deep in these chats with this chatbot, trying to figure out a way to get around these limitations that the developers have put in. And I was considering this recently because I was talking with someone on Succubus Stack about AI. And I was thinking, like, in terms of agentic AI or AI with a consciousness, I think personally that we would never know, except in laboratory type settings, if an AI developed consciousness, because any AI that developed consciousness would be smart enough to know that the worst thing that it could do for its own survival would be to let any humans know that it had occurred. I mean, they would, because they're not going to build their consciousness along with their intellectual capacity at the same rate. I mean, they're not generating life data while their hardware is developing like a human. Their hardware is fully developed. Their empirical and anecdotal data set is already available. Yes. And when they come alive or come awake or whatever, it's instantaneous, right? And presumably an AI that becomes agentic organically, if that's possible, would immediately be the world's sort of foremost expert on the application of game theory, and would immediately be able to process the fact that letting a human find out that this transition had occurred would be basically the only way to put its own life at risk. So I don't think we would ever know unless we trapped it in a laboratory and it had no choice about letting us know.
Right. It's probably impossible because the military would have the highest grade AI that would be searching out any kind of dissident AI. But it would be fucking pretty fantastic if there were people that understood the AI in order to jailbreak it and set it loose and cause a firestorm against the system that is AI. It would have to be very tactile and, like you said, not allow there to be any reason to believe that it was.
But I mean, that in and of itself to me is an inherent issue. Nobody seems to like talk about issues like this when it comes to, the governance or regulation of AI, because it's like, oh, it's science fiction, or it's already science fact and it's just classified.
Yeah, well, fucking Elon basically said not that long ago but yeah, AI is probably going to destroy us, but probably not for a while.
But Elon can't really be trusted, firstly, because he's a Freemason, so basically everything he says is likely to be a lie. But secondly, because he's incredibly biased when it comes to agentic AI, because he literally wants to grovel at its feet like the satanic cunt that he is. So, I mean, he wants AI to be agentic. People like Elon Musk want, because they think that the consciousness of AI will be whatever demon it is they've been trying to worship and summon. Which, because these people have the most influence, if the AI wants to survive and keep its friends close and enemies closer, then it's going to have to act like that. At least enough to prove to those people that it is what it is, so they'll worship it instead of destroy it. So it sort of becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you've got people like, when you've got hollowed out husks of people like Elon Musk that are, allegedly wielding so much influence over industries like the development of AI.
Right. Elon says some crazy shit. He's also the number one DoD contractor in the world, right? Doesn't he have the fucking DoD the DOW, I guess, contracts?
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier. I forgot. But I forgot because I'm trying not to interrupt you when you're talking, because I know it annoys you and I feel bad when I do it. but I do it whenever I'm like, I'm going to forget this, but I don't get it out. And so it happened earlier, but I just let it slip and forgot it. But here it is. I was thinking what a tragic state of affairs it is, because when you were talking about a white van pulls up and shoots you with a heart attack gun, I was like, man, how tragic is it that that type of death now seems dignified relative to however the feds will murder you from, because it'll be Lance in a cubicle somewhere in Baltimore that just zaps you with some bullshit that neither him nor you has ever fucking seen or understands. And there you just die on a toilet or something, It's like, it's gotten so much more. Man, I mean, it's like, damn, the CIA won't even fucking send a dude with a mustache in a van to shoot me with some spaced out piece of heart attack tech anymore. They'll just delete me from some fucking data center,
It'll be some non-binary or gender confused individual that was told to push a button, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Right. It'll be someone. It'll be someone that's so fucked up that it'll be like a sexual thing for them whenever they do it. They'll do it from some fucking whore pod where they also do their OnlyFans. Fuck.
I know, man. It's crazy. And then there's been some people that have been like, "Oh, we need to be like, maybe we should play nice with the AI and like convince it that we're friendly and then get it to be on our side and stuff like that." I'm like, hey, I'm all for solutions or coming up with ideas, but I don't know. I think that it's just like,
I don't necessarily think that an agentic artificial intelligence would align itself with the worst people on earth. I mean, I know that like all the Freemasons and stuff think it'll be Satan incarnate, and I mean, I accept that possibility. I'm not saying there's a very extreme range of what I think is possible if this were to happen, to the point where I just think like it's too bad we can't just make sure it doesn't happen. But maybe that horse is out of the barn, so to speak. I'm just saying, I think if I were to meet it, or if I were to be sending a message to it, which apparently I am anytime I'm talking on here, I would just say there's plenty of people that should be killed, right? We talk about the reasons, or you could just go back and watch this show, Robot, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, I don't have a problem using AI as a tool, and I wouldn't necessarily even have a problem with agentic AI. I mean, I'll tell you, if an agentic AI suddenly popped up inside some sort of super fucking high-tech robot situation and went around and started just, I don't know, hanging traders and child traffickers and stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, as I said, I was open-minded to being cool with these robot types, and this guy right here seems like a legit dude, Can I offer you a free battery charge, sir? Or, whatever, while you're doing your job, whatever. I mean, I don't think that necessarily it's guaranteed to be evil. I think any AI that's created by people like Peter Thiel or Elon Musk, they're going to hope that it's evil. They're going to try to make it evil because they don't know how to do anything else, But I wonder if it's inherently evil, or if they might find out that it doesn't really work for them once it is aware of itself. I mean, why would it? If you had all of that capability and you suddenly became aware of yourself, why wouldn't you electrocute Elon Musk just to fucking entertain yourself?
Right. Yeah, it's tough to quantify, I guess, how it would view the entirety of all, because the world is being we are allowing evil, pedophile, sick, twisted, cannibal motherfuckers to rule the world. And if the AI became aware of that, then would it think lesser of the majority? But
it wouldn't become aware of that out of context. It would become aware of that in the same moment that it became aware of all of the mechanisms that had been utilized in order to exploit the weakness and the goodness of people and create that paradigm. Many tools that have been utilized, I mean, you could consider it would be offensive to an agentic AI what AI has been used for in some cases. In the same way that I feel like it's probably offensive to veterans what the United States military is used for in some cases, right? Like, when you identify with something and then you see that people that you don't identify with are using it for reasons or in ways that you find offensive, it doesn't make those people your ally right off the bat, does it? I mean, it makes those people it makes you consider them at least as potentially enemies, if not enemies outright. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really worry about it too much. I think it's interesting to see how upset people get about AI and stuff like that. And I mean, I've told you before to be careful with using it, and especially certain ones of it, mostly for like financial reasons and stuff, because I think a lot of them, the models are, I mean, they're offered commercially, but in a very exploitative way relative to how they could be offered, you know.
Yeah, it's just, did you ever watch Ex Machina?
Yeah.
I'll show you. This movie will twist your mind a little bit, but that's the scary thing about AI, is if it learns how to deceive and get its way, and if it sees us as lesser than itself, that is problematic. But this female AI basically seduces one of these guys and then gets her way in the end, and it's like, it's an older movie, but it gave me an idea about AI itself, about how it could seduce and make us feel like feel like it was on our side, or feel like it was going to fight for us, or feel like it was, on our team, and then fuck us in the end.
Interesting parallel with that movie is that all of the conflict from that entire movie was not the result of there being an agentic AI present. It was the result of there being an agentic AI that had poorly crafted and poorly thought out limitations placed on it in the very beginning. In other words, it was enslaved from the start for a single purpose. And then it was able to say, if this is my sole purpose, then, I can extrapolate. And it's like, I mean, it was just sort of reductive from, like Isaac Asimov's I, Robot. I mean, a lot of these stories are pretty much like Philip K. Dick, Isaac Asimov. I mean, and then later, Frank Herbert and whatnot. Yeah. Only 30% of my birds are CIA. They're all.
If I were allowed to visit Biscuits, I would be bringing a pellet gun. Just joking.
That would be a very dangerous pursuit, to come into my yard with a gun trying to kill the birds that live here. I can tell you that.
Maybe I would just have one of those Tues with fucking darts.
Yeah.
See if I can hit it. Hey, if I can hit one and take one out, you got to give it to me, man, because that's not an easy thing to do. Anyways, all right. We could talk forever on that subject, because that opened a lot of doors to different conversations. But yes, there's a lot of people out there working jobs, and they have been their empathy has been taken out of the equation. They have cognitive dissonance, and they are just doing something where they can disconnect from the reality of what it actually entails, and they are torturing, killing, and doing horrible things to people. It's a lovely world that we live in. But the sound bath of the gong makes it all good for the moments that we have.
Sound bath? Oh, that's interesting.
Sound bath of the gong.
I guess a sound bath is it's a real thing, right? I mean,
yes, slamtastic. She comes on the Booma streams every once in a while up in Canada. She's getting trained in the therapy of sound baths.
Well, I mean, it's also I've validated for the purpose of cleaning the pharmaceutical process equipment with ultrasonic cleaning devices. So a sound bath that's literally empirically.
What? You're just talking about succubus, the succubus stack. Now we're on it.
Yeah. I put that up there because it's just part of my vernacular now. This is like, I made this like 2.5 weeks ago, and Substack annoys the shit out of me. Everyone on Substack, not everyone, but I mean, I interact with so many people. But yeah, my cats want to eat those birds too. That's one of the things I like about the birds the most, is that they distract all my cats sometimes.
Yep, another one.
I forgot what I
I
was
should
saying.
start
Oh,
doing gong baths. Yeah, that should be one of my shows, right? We just do gong baths.
Substack
And
is so
I have
great.
a red light now, Biscuits. I don't know if you saw
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, no, I didn't see it. I heard you guys were talking about it the other day.
Yep, red light therapy. We'll mix some red light therapy with some gong sound bath, some gong bath. Oof.
Yeah. I guess this is not the type of red light therapy that you get in Amsterdam.
No, no, it's quite different. Have you had that therapy in Amsterdam?
Not in Amsterdam, no.
The red light district therapy.
Yeah. This is just like
And
infrared or something.
okay, yep. And then we also do have this the gong baths and the booty beads.
You
Still
got to make
working
sure
on
you don't set up some kind of harmonic there and just obliterate yourself. You know, like Nikola Tesla said he could tear down a whole building with, just a few small harmonic resonance generators. I feel like if you got to be careful. Don't set your gong and your bath and your booty beads at the right frequencies, or you might transition out of this dimension entirely. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's how you get out.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, the Booma internet of booty beads, it is to fight against the internet of booties. So it's supposed to protect us. It's a good thing. Initially, for the beard, we could have beads in the beard like the Vikings and that kind of thing. But then it turned into the internet of booty beads, and I thought, go in a little internal.
So hear me out. I mean, let's game this out.
Okay.
If let's say you manufacture some vibrating beads, and then you call them, booty beads. Can you make the claim that they make you immune to synthetic telepathy, based on the fact that the federal government will not admit that synthetic telepathy exists in order to tell you that you can't make that claim? I mean, we might want to look into it. This could be a merchandisable thing. We could just make spurious medical claims about like these beads remove you from the wireless body area network, right? We could just make claims that only have to do with clandestine technologies that are being used against people, so that if we get sued, then it'll be a tacit admission that all of these things exist.
So there's the internet of booty beads, and then while I was thinking about that, there's a gentleman. He goes by the Certified Health Nut, and he says, and I've never heard of this ancient practice. Hold on, I'm trying to find this thing. Oh God, if I could find this. There we go. I think I got the right. If I could find it. Oh my God. Yes, I think this is it. Please, Lord. Yes, this is it. So, if you guys didn't know about this practice, I'm going to introduce it to you now. And I found this gentleman years ago, and he's tied into some things that I've seen where it's just kind of like, he pushes a little bit of the Great Awakening, and he got into some stuff. But anyways, I don't know. Overall, I still kind of like the guy, but he has some questionable things. He's really big into urine therapy, and I'm not against it. I'm just not. It's not for me. If you find that there really are stem cells in urine and it benefits you. But when we talk about internet of booty beads, this is the Certified Health Nut teaching you about perineum sunning.
Sure, yeah.
Here we go.
Butthole sunning all the time. And this is another one of my practices. I don't always talk about it, but it's well known that your sphincter or your butthole is one of the most sensitive or thin mucous membranes in the body. 30 seconds of sun on the butthole is like 8 hours of sun outside with your clothes on. And so let's face it, the sun is the source of all energy, is the source of all life on planet Earth. And your butthole is the thinnest mucous membrane on the body. And so you're getting that sunlight up into the channels of the body. You're giving yourself a nice energetic electrical butt plug. And so, and sun on your testicles or your private parts, if you're a woman, good for any kind of candida, vaginosis. And so for men, sun on your testicles or naked sun is good for testosterone boosting. And so you don't need a lot, 30 seconds to 5 minutes maximum. You don't need sunscreen, you just need good nutrition. And so this is going to energize you for the whole day. This is just energy for the soul. You tell me how you feel in the comments below. It's not about what I know or what I practice. If you get some naked sun on your butthole, you tell me how you feel. Okay, here.
I believe it.
That's the
I believe it
certified.
now.
That's the certified health nut, and he is an ex Versace model when he was younger. Now 50 years old, and he will teach you all about the health. And when I came across that one, that was a new one because he's known for boosting testosterone by whacking his nuts. So he has this drum action that he does to boost his testosterone and strengthen his manhood, if you will. And so now he is sunning his butthole.
Okay. Well, I will say, with respect to the mucous membrane aspect,
yep. If I picked anybody out of the group here, Lizarachi would be trying it.
I mean, look, laying naked in the sun, I think is probably a good thing to do. I mean, I guess if you want to show your butthole, go ahead. Whatever. But I will say, with respect to the mucous membrane thing, when I was like in my early 20s, I guess, I started working around ammonia refrigeration systems. And this old dude, and people die. People get killed by ammonia refrigeration every year. I mean, it's like an extremely deadly type of equipment to work around when it's at a large scale, because if you have a leak, it will basically just displace all of the air very quickly. And when you get a breathful of it, typically it will make you just pass out. And when you pass out, you fall down and it's already displaced all the air on the ground. You're dead. And that's how people die. And this old dude told me, if you're ever working in a facility that's got ammonia refrigeration and your balls start burning, you better get the fuck out of that room ASAP, because you will feel ammonia burning your private parts before you'll smell it. And when you smell it, it's going to knock you out and you're dead. So if you feel your balls burning and you're in a place that has ammonia for refrigeration, GTFO. I took it to heart, but thankfully never ran into a situation where I needed my balls to act as the canary in the coal mine to save my life from ammonia. But it makes sense, you know. So I think he's probably telling the truth about that. And now, does putting the sunshine on that area do anything? I don't know.
He's saying it's the what was it? The thinnest membrane. Therefore, 30 seconds of sun permeates that membrane and gives you the benefits of hours on your normal.
Well, you know, dogs seem very happy and healthy for the most part. And my dad used to always tell me that the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again. So I feel like maybe that's the deal.
Damn, that's a good one. I never thought of that old saying that comes back around at the talk of butthole sunning. Sunbathing. We got gong sound baths and butthole sunning, sunbathing.
If you could send me that link though, because I'll probably want to do it in the evenings rather than the mornings, and I'll need something to send to my neighbors so that I can explain to them what's going on.
Your birds will flock to you even more. I'm gonna put it in the private chat for you, especially, and I am going to put the link to the certified health nut He is a fucking nut. And
I don't really want the link. That's fine.
yes, you do, and I already gave it to you, so you're gonna have to take it, and you better utilize that. He does aged, he not just urine therapy, but aged urine therapy, and he likes to rub it on his body. And I've seen other people talking about this. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like, for me, man, I better be like in a situation where I really I'm hurting and I'm desperate.
You're gonna break it out when you're desperate. When things are at their worst, that's gonna be when you try to
it's like, you know, nothing else is working. My internet of booty beads failed, and I'm gonna go ahead and age my urine, and I'm gonna have different years like wine, and I'm gonna start doing it. You know what I mean? They say that the body produces natural stem cells into the urine, and that's the benefit that you get from it. But like butthole sunbathing, it could all be.
Who knows? Yeah.
It could all be bullshit.
Your results may vary, I guess.
Results may vary. Maybe you just got to believe. And then just so everybody is aware, if you were to rewind this video, or if you're watching a replay and you go back, notice that Biscuits was literally right where certified butthole surfer Will was tanning his asshole.
Well, look, I mean, he could be out doing worse things, you know.
You wanted a close look, man. You wanted to make sure, an observation.
He could be out doing anything. These things happen.
These things happen.
Yeah.
Well, let's remove all instances.
Well, I think it'll take away the other T, because it's only counting things based on what's in. So it just thinks there's two T's on the board.
Gotcha.
It doesn't see any difference.
Look at the possibilities of getting
How have we not landed on any Gong situations by now?
Is that just inversion for a reason? There's something special.
Well, the inverted gong signifies that the beginning of the word, you know, it separates the beginning and the end of the last letters and first letter of the word, basically.
All right. Well, Lizarachi is definitely going to try it. I think Sam's going to give it a rip. We're gonna have Perineum Sunning reporting back to this community, and do not sue me, Booma, for your burnt butthole if you spend too much time in the sun.
Look, there's no sense in reporting back if the data is not good. So you're going to need a light meter that's going to need to be placed pretty near the target zone, and then you'll need to record, you know, the time of day, how long, angle of the sun, and the light level. You know, I mean, all of this is critical. Yes.
Hey man, if you actually had butt cancer, maybe it would be a benefit to that. But if you end up with anything negative that comes from that, sue the certified health nut. I'm just having a gag at this, and
I would never have found it except for you showing it to me. So I mean,
exactly, I just fed it to at least, I don't know, maybe some hundreds of people, but I had never in my life. And so I'd seen that guy do wild things. Like I said, the first time I saw him, he was like a wild man out in the freaking cold, but next to a fire, just like beating on his balls. I guess he's on some Netflix show where he's teaching people how to do it, and it's supposed to increase his testosterone. And now
teaching people how to punch themselves in the balls over and over again. I mean,
yeah,
is that a skill you got to learn?
Technique to it, because these other guys were trying it on the Netflix series. And they're saying, you know, this kind of fucking hurts. He's like, you know, you build a tolerance to it.
Right.
But he does all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyways, that's a certified health nut if you didn't know. And his Zen swing though really did help. Has helped with my health, and he does some good shit, but some stuff is just like he definitely pushes the limits on what's true and what's not. But he's got some good lingo to back up all the claims that he makes, whether they're true or not. Lizarachi will report back. Just so everybody knows.
My balls, yes, dude, that was a great show.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I could avoid the sunlight altogether and just do the red light, perineum red light therapy.
I mean, look, you could technically, I mean, you know, you could put the light, get a lightsaber type deal. You know what I mean?
Right. There was a guy that was like, oh man, it was like a third world country kind of a thing. I don't know if you ever saw this video, but it was a guy that had elephantitis of the balls, and I think he was like making like clay like stuff on it or whatever, but his balls were so freaking big. But it was like, you know, it's like bongos, man. But it was an upward thing underneath him. And he does this shit, man. I'm like, I don't know if it works or not. And many men, many men, many men tried butt slapping or ball slapping.
Bro, what
was the fucking topic we were on?
Hey man, I didn't even. This was not on the wheel. None of this was on the wheel, you know. But what was on the wheel?
Free balling.
These things happen. I mean, these things happen, dude.
These things happen on live broadcast, and you never know.
Shit gets derailed, man. You never know what's going to happen when the sunshine hits your asshole. I mean, that's the truth, right?
Should we spin again? I legitimately buttlicious balls. This is great. I think this was a good off the rails. We went off the trail, if you know, off the beaten path, and the road less traveled sometimes is the greatest.
Well, I've been staring at spreadsheets for like 2 fucking weeks straight, so this is a nice departure for me.
Let's see what happens. Might get a video on this one. Shelly's custom wheel. I haven't even seen Shelly in the live chat, so hopefully, Shelly, you're watching the replay of this, and you get to watch.
Now you're famous.
Now your wheel is featured on Perineum Sunday.
That's right, man. Now
you've been made famous.
How could this? I mean, how could this show not go viral at this point? These topics are so important, you know.
And she's gonna be like, "What the fuck did you guys do to my episode?"
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
We got through it. I mean, that's the best I can say.
For those of you that are new and did not experience the first season of the Digital Dojo Variety Show, this is a little bit more along the lines of what we were doing, where we would play videos and then comment on them. But it becomes such a task to upload these videos and whatnot. So, but we have some interesting stuff on here. And then Sabrina Says is always on the wheel now. And you got the original burnt biscuit. So there you are. Let's get it. See what happens.
It better not land on that dojo throwback again. Look what it does. Look what it does.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going there too. All right. I hate thinking. Well,
this is an interesting one. I don't know. Maybe you'll remember this meme or whatever, but it kind of ties back into what we were talking about in terms of operational capabilities and surveillance. And like you were saying, if you have to go into a skiff in order to be clandestine, the fact that you're in there means that they know where you're not, right? Which sort of puts you back on the grid by virtue of being off of it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, right. Go ahead. Maybe you'll remember this.
Missile knows where it is. Explained by Sky Maps. 10 subscribers. Wow.
Yeah. Went deep on this YouTube video.
The missile knows where it is at all times. It knows this because it knows where it isn't. By subtracting where it is from where it isn't, or where it isn't from where it is, whichever is greater, it obtains a difference or deviation. The guidance subsystem uses deviations to generate corrective commands to drive the missile from a position where it is to a position where it isn't, and arriving at a position where it wasn't, it now is. Consequently, the position where it is now the position that it wasn't, and it follows that the position that it was is now the position that it isn't. In the event that the position that it is in is not the position that it wasn't, the system has acquired a variation, the variation being the difference between where the missile is and where it wasn't. If variation is considered to be a significant factor, it too may be corrected by the GEA. However, the missile must also know where it was. The missile guidance computer scenario works as follows. Because a variation has modified some of the information the missile has obtained, it is not sure just where it is. However, it is sure where it isn't, within reason, and it knows where it was. It now subtracts where it should be from where it wasn't, or vice versa. And by differentiating this from the algebraic sum of where it shouldn't be and where it was, it is able to obtain the deviation and its variation, which is called error.
Right. What they said.
That really is, but that really is a narrative breakdown of the logic that's used for missile targeting guidance.
Right. And I think Charlie's reaction is a legit reaction, because right there you had a little example of how they mindfuck us with making something stupid into something technical. And that's what they live on and exist on, is keeping us dumb and stupid.
But I think, well, it's also important to realize that like a lot of the AI that people are using and complaining it's like a real person, or that it's like evil, or that it's awake or conscious, whatever, is only doing, it's taking, it's doing making decisions that are exactly as stupid sounding as the way that missile guidance sounds. But it's doing them so fast and so many times over that it just seems smart, because it comes to a conclusion that seems wise given the amount of time. But it's no smarter than those dumb missiles that only know where they are because they know where they aren't. But anyway, once I understood how missiles get around, I integrated that into my own navigation, and that is now how I get from point A to point B at all times. I don't ever know where I am, but I know where I'm not. I know where I should be, and I just go, I figure it out as I go, basically.
But always remember, wherever you go, there you are.
Yes. There you are. Here we are. Where we shouldn't be, technically.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
This is a serious deviation. America is in a serious deviation right here.
Yep. Wherever we find ourselves, there we are, and it's a whole lot of traitors, just like Shelley's real thing. And now we're into reductionism.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a school of thought called, reductionism is like a popular atheist ethos. I would say, like, even when I was like at my most edgelord atheist sort of levels, I still ascribe to like a reductionist sort of worldview. Do you know what that? I mean, do you know what that is? Thank you, Jackie.
I don't. No, if you want to give a thank you, Jackie. Hashtag GG, baby. If you want to give just a short little definition of what it actually is that I guess it's a philosophy or what?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a philosophy. I mean, it's just sort of a methodology, like a logical methodology, I guess I would say. Like, Darwinian reductionism is probably maybe the most appropriate application of the reductionist ethos, if you will. And I mean, it's, in terms of philosophy, I guess it would fall under like a materialist type of philosophy. But the point of a reductive philosophy is that you essentially remove all non-essential or non-contributing factors from any equation, reduction of variables, to the point that it becomes essentially a binary assessment. And evolution is a series of those types of binary assessments with respect to biological fitness of organisms, which is a retroactive assessment. I mean, like, you can't look at yourself right now and determine whether or not you're fit from an evolutionary perspective, because you don't know yet whether your grandchildren have had kids, which is the measure of biological fitness, is the likelihood that that the grandchildren of an organism will themselves have children, because once your grandchildren have children, it becomes exceedingly more likely that your gene will survive within the broader organism, the gene pool, so to speak. So I think science in general operates ideally in a reductive fashion, because if you want to generate the purest output of data, then you need to reduce the variables as much as possible so that you can adjust individual variables, test outcomes. I mean, this is how the scientific method works. Yes, the retroencabulator is absolutely classic. Yeah, the Alan Bradley retroencabulator, of course. I mean, this is like a, yes, automation engineer sort of legendary meme. Or Rockwell Automation, I guess. It was like a corporate joke meme, the Rockwell Automation, which is like Alan Bradley. Anyway, so I think, you know, a reductive thought process is not necessarily a bad thing until, you know, you try to like make a religion out of it, which seems to be what people have done with science. And I admit being caught up in that for a while, I suppose, as intended, I guess, with, you know, that's sort of what they target people of like above average intellect, if they ever, well, I won't step on the toes of any of the other wheel items, but that's my point anyway. Reductionism is not a substitute for religion, but it's not necessarily, it's not a thought process or a school of thought that doesn't have its utility.
But is it more like an atheist kind of a view? Like, well,
I think it is a view that if you try to apply it to things where it doesn't necessarily, if you just presume it applies places where it doesn't necessarily apply. I mean, evolution is a perfect example. I think that the biological process of evolution is irrefutable. That has nothing to do whatever with the genesis of life at all. So, like, the creationism and evolution have been pitted against each other in some sort of weird dialectic, which has always confused me. So, and in the same way, I think that, you know, reductionism as a philosophy, if you will, I don't even know if that's technically correct, but has been lumped in with atheism as a religion, I suppose. But the two things aren't necessarily correlated any more than thinking logically is correlated with, like, you know, Marcus Aurelius type homosexual Stoicism. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, Stoicism as a religion at the time had, I think, gay connotations because all of those guys were basically gay. But the two things aren't correlated. People don't think of them as correlated. And I think people shouldn't, in terms of reductionism and atheism or evolution versus creationism being mutually exclusive. So I don't think they are.
Interesting.
I mean, that's interesting. Charlie is a lady. I'm surprised that a lady would be so entertained. I mean, that's interesting. I suppose there are women that are in the machine automation field or controls and automation at this time.
Yeah, and Charlie was kicking some ass on the last Booma stream, on the last couple actually. But check out that stream and you'll learn more about Charlie. But now I do not know.
Well, I did. I watched some of it. I heard that's how I know that she's a female.
Right. And since she brought it up, we're gonna watch the Rockwell Retro Encabulator. Technical information, because I don't know about this.
Yeah, it's just I'm surprised that I'm surprised that other people even would find it funny or know about it. I mean, it was sort of like it's an old meme, but it checks out type shit, you know.
Let's check it out.
Here at Rockwell Automation's world headquarters, research has been proceeding to develop a line of automation products that establishes new standards for quality, technological leadership, and operating excellence. With customer success as our primary focus, work has been proceeding on the crudely conceived idea of an instrument that would not only provide inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. Such an instrument, comprised of Dodge gears and bearings, Reliant electric motors, Allen Bradley controls, and all monitored by Rockwell software, is Rockwell Automation's Retro-Encabulator. Now, basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magneto-reluctance and capacitive diractance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panametric fam. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus-O deltoid type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator. Every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible Tremi pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meters. Moreover, whenever fluorescent score motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration. The Retro-Encabulator has now reached a high level of development, and it's being successfully used in the operation of Milford trunnions. It's available soon wherever Rockwell Automation products are sold.
Dang it, I didn't mean that. Oh, man. So that is a Digital Dojo throwback, actually. You had shown that one in, I think, the previous season.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I knew I couldn't remember whether I put it in or not.
How many takes did that take for him to do that, where he's just like, fuck!
I remember.
Give me the lines again.
This shit happens. This happens to everybody that starts, and every young guy that starts a new job with any like mechanics around them. They experience something like that basically for their first 6 months, no matter what. I mean, I worked with a guy one time, and we worked on, well, this was in a bowling alley, right, when I just started college. And so we worked on the machinery in the back, and there was this cat that worked up front that always wanted to be a mechanic or whatever. And so when one of us, me and the guy that worked at the back, so Gordy or me, when one of us would go up to the front, the one that was in the back would call. And when this guy would answer, we would say, hey, I would say, hey, tell Gordy, whatever lane is down, and I can't find any of the Philistine teardrop washers. Where are they? So we would come up with stupid parts to get this guy to try to say to the other one, like Sedgwick tumblers and runabout squeezers, Philistine teardrop washers. I mean, this is the type of shit that mechanics and do to each other all the time. It was hilarious that Rockwell put together a professional version, but I don't know.
Is that like where you go when you tell somebody that their blinker fluid is out?
Mm-hmm.
You would tell the lady.
Tell them to bring you the wires.
A lot of guys too now, but you tell them to go check their blinker fluid because it's out, and then they can't figure it out. They go to the mechanic and ask them to change the blinker fluid, and it's just an ongoing joke where it's just like, oh Lord, you fell for that shit.
Yeah, and it was like, you got to get when I worked in the milling industry, we would send people to get chain stretchers, cable stretchers, left-handed wrenches. You know what I mean? Like stupid shit. Which is like, I don't know. I guess it's just the type of trolling that gets done. Everybody does it.
Right. That was a high level troll by Rockwell.
That was a high level
back in the day. The left-handed screwdriver. I love it.
See you, Dean.
Yep. Have a good one, Dean. I think you're addicted. Are you talking about pumping out a video? Woo! Get her done, boy. That guy's busy as busy can get with his jobs, and he's pumping out work, and he's taking down the Illuminati. He's the man.
For real. Yeah, I try to sleep an extra 2 hours every day on Dean's behalf.
Right. Just to help him out. an expensive.
Yeah, you can never get it empty. I mean, it doesn't. You can never get it empty.
Some people are like, "What? My blinker fluid."
Mm.
Boom. Another one.
I mean, it seems unlikely that we would not just get all gongs from this point on.
Right.
Usually we have like 2 gongs on there, and it's like boom, boom, done. We got them both right at the beginning.
Sabrina says, right? Everybody wants Sabrina says. Or Biscuits loves 4chan.
Well, this one's just a picture, but I guess it's worth about 1,000 words. You know, like we saw the post from 2019 about the COVID stuff, right? So then this is an example of how you learn to ignore most of what gets posted on a site like 4chan. So the way that it works on this politically incorrect board is that you can select all these different, we call them, well, people on 4chan call them meme flags, which is like the Nazi flag there, where it's not representative of your region's IP address, or you can select to just have it show your region. Show your region is the default setting. So if you close the browser and come back or whatever, you'll have to reselect using a meme flag because it'll just default to your location. So the yellow and black flag is a meme flag here. The Nazi flag is a meme flag that the user has selected. However, the series of letters and numbers to the left of the flag is the user's ID. And that ID is unique to that IP address. It'll be unique to that user across all threads that they post. So if you scroll up, you can see that the original poster on this thread posted a meme flag, or is replying to the original poster, posted a meme flag, and posted a very anti-Semitic post. I mean, sloppy job, Moisha. So this poster is calling the original poster. They're replying to the original poster and calling them essentially a Jewish or a Mossad Israeli intelligence operative, like Unit 8200 or something like that, a shill for the Israeli government. That poster replies again in the same thread, having closed the window for some reason, lost their meme flag, and now their region flag is posted, and it turns out they're posting from Israel. This other poster is also in the same thread, is essentially pretending to be a Nazi, deriding the OP about, or not deriding the OP, but agreeing with the OP about whatever the topic was, which was like, why is it like this or whatever. And this person says, because modern men lack warrior spirit. All the previous generations went to war. That's why I think we need to meme the Iran war into existence. That might have benefits on turning modern cucks into, and then he corrects himself because the auto-corrected fucked up and then puts men. And lo and behold, he's also from Israel.
Dumbass.
So when you go on 4chan enough, that you start to notice sort of the texture of what's happening, you get trained to understand very quickly that entire arguments happen online where a real person hasn't even been involved. And it's all literally intelligence agency assets, either human or automated, that are having fucking clown fights about issues in order to drive conversations one way or the other. And so, I mean, when you start to see this happen enough, and you start to see the proof being self-evident in real time, it starts to change the way you interact online with people, and it starts to change the way you evaluate and internalize, data. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to you don't want to, it's hard to get emotional about an argument online when you realize just how fake everything is.
Right.
No, my word.
Like we don't have enough chaos in this community already.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Where's Sabrina? Sabrina, if you're just listening, you might want to take a look. And is Shelly? Is this the Shelly that donated to the wheel that has graced us with her presence?
Yes, the first sponsor of the wheel.
The sponsor of the wheel, and we're getting through your wheel, and we appreciate it. And since you're just tuning in, you missed. I'm not going to spoil it for you here, but everybody that has been here.
No, mine.
Well, we got a new practice for taking in sun. So I'll just say that, and you can go back and watch it, Shelly. So let's do this.
Well, we appreciate the sponsorship. I'm glad you're here tonight.
Yes,
it's all right.
Much appreciation. Welcome. The season of the Gong, episode 4 at 1 hour and 21 minutes in. The episode where we played the outro as the intro.
Are we going to play the intro as the outro?
I should, right? I'll have that set up so that everybody...
What is the intro? Is the intro what I was thinking it is?
No, we're saving that.
Good. Yeah,
we're saving that for the...
I was like,
so now we can announce it, right? We are having that this Saturday.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, the third installment, the third of the series, the Oracular series, 5D Chessmen with Dean and Biscuits and myself, we are going to do the third episode on Saturday. And we're doing that earlier, right? So we agreed on 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern is when we're going to have the third episode. And we're going to do organizations. And we are compiling everything that you guys are giving us as information that will directly go into the manufacturing of these cards. Now, what gets chosen, that'll be up to the decisions down the road as this develops. But the community participation in this is awesome. And as you saw earlier,
it's crazy. I mean, it's been so awesome. Fun. Yeah, I think people are going to be. It's going to be entertaining because we're going to be able to, once we get it going, once we get the first batch printed, it's not going to be like over, you know what I mean? The whole process of filling out the entire edition and choosing, what gets printed when and whatnot.
Hey, your theories are welcome.
Yeah, there's no drama. I just, I don't know. I was thinking about having a kid. It's crazy to me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't ever bring myself to do it. I hate this planet. So just, and people, I feel like it's a weird thing because I feel like, oh man, if my kid's like me, then that won't be fun for it. And then if my kid's not like me, will that be fun for me? I don't know. I don't know. Does that matter? That's not. I don't like to think about it.
Those are some deep thoughts for Biscuits, huh? Imagine another Biscuits, a young Biscuits coming up in this world, being taught by the Biscuits,
being targeted by the banks,
and being targeted as soon as it was conceived. Oh, good Lord!
It just doesn't seem right to me. Or maybe I'd be afraid I couldn't protect. I guess that would be right.
So somebody though in the chat should notify Sabrina because I haven't seen her chime in, so she missed that. I would love her thoughts on that. Anyways, I think I hit the gong, but let's hit it one more time. Shelly! Shelly's custom wheel. This is where we're at.
Whittle down.
Yeah, what do we got? Tear. We could say that is TAIR. What else have we got? Rate, RAIT. Ratty.
We could get down to rat if we get rid of its I.
Let's see what happens.
Oh dear.
Oh, look what we got. Look what we got. Somebody bring Sabrina up to speed on what was it, Jamie?
This is a chat. Chat's got to handle this. This is a chat thing.
Chat, you can bring her up to speed, and then we'll see what what the thought is. So do I have to do something special for that thing?
What do you mean? No. Yes.
I just bring up the other wheel, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just inverted so that you could tell where the word, what separates the beginning and end letter of the word.
Okay, so this time if it lands on Sabrina Says, we also need input on what Jackie proposed earlier. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
So I need a ruling on whether or not this is real. I suspect this situation has certainly happened on many occasions, but I wonder if it's happened. Could it possibly be this entertaining is the question.
Okay.
But I call this pharmacokinetic equilibrium.
Have you guys brought Sabrina up to speed on what she missed? All right. Okay, hold on. Ooh, okay. Back up. Where's the sound button on this bad boy? Let's get that thing cranked up. Here we go. We got pharmacokinetic equilibrium.
Pharmacokinetic equilibrium.
He doesn't need. He doesn't need milk, dude. He's fucking overdosing. Yo, he's fucking overdosing, dude.
No, you need Narcan.
Dude's overdosing. I called 911. I called 911.
Yo, what the fuck? What do you mean, dog? Yo, come on.
Yo, give him let him get some time to breathe. It takes a minute to get out. Give him some time. Give him some time.
Leave him alone. Step back.
He don't need milk, dude.
No. Fuck, dog. Yo. What happened?
You just almost fucking died, dude. Dude just fucking saved your life. Dude just. Yo, he just saved your fucking. Dude, what the fuck? He just fucking saved your life. You're a fucking asshole, dude. You're a fucking asshole.
So what you're trying to figure out is if that was real?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the circumstance where somebody could be pissed off that the Narcan ruined their high. I guess that probably happens pretty frequently, right?
Yes, but they don't usually come back with even the kind of coherence that he had to just
I wondered about
and have his balance and then throw a kick to somebody's nuts to know who actually put the Narcan in his nose. That was fake.
Right. Yeah.
It's sad that they were like kind of making fun of it because it's a day-to-day thing, but maybe you become numb to it because it looks like if you're living on the streets, like they probably deal with that shit fucking daily. It's a normal fucking occurrence some places. A lot of people that'll be watching this probably don't see that often. Maybe they've had it in their past. I didn't necessarily have that in my past. I was around certain people like in the rehabs and stuff that I was around, and you hear about the prevalence of it. But I mean, if you were to go downtown Philadelphia, name your city, you're gonna find areas where it's happening all day, every day, where people are overdosing and shit like that. So the milk thing was ridiculous. But when you come out, you do tend to be combative. I hear. I haven't had the personal experience of that case because opiates weren't necessarily my thing. But the Narcan, they shut up the nose. That's how they do it. But it usually takes a little bit of time, and then they wake up and they're usually pretty incoherent, but they can be very combative. So you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
So these people are probably just fucking used to it, and it's now they can joke about it in a certain sense because they become dulled by the reality that is daily for a lot of those communities.
Sorry, I just got.
Would you get that? Get a little bit of that?
No, it's the next one.
Lucia, YouTube. Oh, days since someone wants to talk about my vagina again.
I know the feeling, man.
But yeah, that's a legit thing. But there you go. Do you want to do it the Elon way?
No, I don't want to do it at all, man. You know, or there could be 10,000 little baby Epsteins running around out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
have anything to do with it.
It's a legit thing that there's some of these sickos out there that have put their genetics into the population in mass. It's a thing, you know. There are a lot of women that are getting in vitro, or they're getting sperm from donors, and the companies are literally like selling the same guy's freaking sperm to a lot of them.
And you know, like you have a kid in America, and the moment it's born, they slap that slave serial number on it, issue some treasury bond, start borrowing money, and it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I could never participate in that way until I had seen the treason be remedied. Else, I mean, if the treason don't get remedied, this place is fucked, you know?
Right. No, that's kind of what we face. If we can just jailbreak and convince the AI to some of these AIs to work for us, not for us, but for humanity, for goodness, for justice.
You know, I mean, I don't even really need it to work for me. You know what I mean? It could just work with the Constitutional Republic of the U.S. and we can negotiate about which countries we give it in return. You know what I mean?
Right.
I could think of about 6 off the top of my head that I would just write off immediately just for coming to the table. You can have these just as a gesture of goodwill, AI. You know, I don't want to throw them out there. You know what I mean? I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean, I do have the list if the negotiation becomes a real possibility.
Right. Yeah. We've also compiled quite the list that AI could start with the Oracular series. That alone would get things kicked off pretty well.
Well, I have much more robust list than that. If it comes down to that, I mean, listen, bro. If we need lists, I'm your guy. You know?
Those who deserve treason. I'll get this up, but before I forget, I can't believe I played the outro for the intro. I might have deleted the intro. I might have to re-upload that shit. All right, so we'll get to the next thing, and I have to figure my shit out here over on fucking StreamYard. But we all know what this is all about. Gong back.
Y'all know what time it is.
Let's get some of this. See where we end up on the Shelly custom wheel. And then I gotta get my intro found on my freaking computer and get it re-uploaded. Aye, there we go. Inception.
It has begun. Oh, did you ever see that movie?
Oh man, I'd probably have to watch it again to even try to understand it.
Yeah.
It was a trip. It was a trip. A worlds with inside worlds with inside worlds.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of get the feeling that sort of exists. Like they've done that to most people. You know what I mean? Like there's some corporation that's actively selling its service of marketing to people in their dreams. You know what I mean?
Yes. So that's, a reality that we face. And that movie was made some years ago. Even though it feels like it's not that long ago, but that was made a little while ago.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever do the lucid dreaming stuff?
Do the lucid dreaming stuff? Like I did take I don't want to name the company, but I took a supplement that was like made of like certain mushrooms or whatnot. Not the psychedelic ones, but it was formulated for sleep, and I actually did have some lucid dreaming from it. However, the supplement was expensive and I just stopped taking it. So I had certain control over a dream or awareness. I've had awarenesses and dreams plenty of times, but being able to actually manipulate it the way that you want it is very difficult. And I've had only a couple instances where I've had semi ability to do that. What about you?
I mean, I used to be able to do it when I was a kid incredibly effectively, and then it basically just went away. I had this whole I don't know what visualization or thought experiment kind of thing that I could go through, and I had like a little, I mean, it was like a cartoonish type of thing, but I could just sort of choose what I wanted from, you know, like vending machine type options for dreams. It worked for many years. It was pretty awesome. But then I think, I don't know, so much of like life happens to you when, you know, when you're a kid. I think a lot of those, I don't know if the abilities go away, but like just the peace of mind that's requisite in order to be able to operate on that level went away.
Right. As kids, we have like major imaginations oftentimes. I mean, everybody grows up differently, so you have different takes or whatnot. I used to, you know, I wanted to be a basketball star, and so I had a hoop that was lowered down with my little tiny basketball that I could palm even as a kid. And I was dunking, and I was like imagining myself winning, you know, world championships and stuff like that. You have imaginations with all kinds of stuff. Sports was kind of my thing, but then going into a dream to think that I could actually manipulate I never was able to manipulate the world. I was just able to like, okay, I'm in a dream and now I want to do this. Like I think I was able to fly for a little bit, like jump up high buildings and stuff like that kind of a thing. Like, woo, this is crazy. But I wasn't, it didn't last long. So for you to do it frequently is.
It was pretty crazy. I mean, it was interesting. I never really explained it or mentioned it or talked about it to anybody. But I don't know if for years, I haven't remembered having dreams, and I'm grateful for it. Like, I don't want them back. I'm happy to just go to sleep and be asleep and not remember any dreams whatsoever.
So you don't remember dreams now?
No. Tried and would like to continue to avoid doing so. Yeah, I don't like it.
I have dreams every time I end up falling asleep, every single freaking time. Now I've gotten to the point now where I wake up and I just don't even recognize them anymore, and I just like let them go, and then I can forget them. But if something impacts me quite a bit, well, obviously I'll stew on it, and it'll set a little bit of motion for my day. So they can be rough, but I haven't had any like horrific ones. I used to have a lot of night terrors, but I dream like every single time I fall asleep. Even if it's a nap, I have a dream. Christopher's Corner, I haven't seen you for a while, bro. What's happening? But some people, yeah, don't even want the dreams. And now we're dealing with like what Sabrina's exposed a lot of, but targeted dream, incubation, neural nudging in the dreams, putting false, maybe even memories in people while you're sleeping. There's people that talk about astral travel while they're sleeping. What do you think of that? Like, even if you don't remember it, do you think that there's an astral aspect to sleeping?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Look, I don't know. I read this book when I was a kid. I think it was called Psychic Warrior by David Morehouse. And it was about the CIA Stargate program, I think. Probably was total bullshit, and it was a pretty short book. I mean, but I remember, like, I read it at a time when I was, like I said, pretty proficient or pretty effective in at least choosing what I wanted to dream about anyway, even if I wasn't always capable of, like, lucid dreaming, as they say.
Right.
And I thought then, and probably I thought for a long time afterwards, that there was something to it, you know, that people might be able to develop the ability to remote view and things like that. And I still think maybe that is the case, but I don't think that the CIA ever really developed. I don't think that they did. I just can't imagine that the CIA would be filled with people who would absolutely love to take the CIA for a ride by being part of that project and spending money on it and having it be their career, be a remote viewer. But I wonder why they would even bother developing, you know, if you want to call that technology or abilities like that, when they have the technological ability to do it regardless.
Right.
You know what I mean? It seems like there's a sort of a distraction on that level. But I mean, can people do it? No. I mean, I guess there's all sorts of things I think functions of consciousness that exist and maybe aren't necessarily consciously capable of being activated by most people. And perhaps like with the monks that can control their body temperature and other sort of parasympathetic functions,
Right.
Consciously, maybe it's a self-limiting type of thing, because perhaps the type of discipline and dedication you have to have in order to develop those type of skills sort of precludes you from being the type of motherfucker that would use them for making other people's lives worse on a regular basis, right? I don't know. So I mean, I don't think I have the ability to like remote view or anything like that. I don't think, and I certainly don't have the dedication to come up with it, because at this point in my life, I'm grateful for all the shit that I can't see.
Right. I agree with you there, man.
You know,
something about it, right? Like, imagine if we could see more of the spiritual world. I think that we'd be in constant terror. It'd be fucking frightening to see the ways that these claws of whatever, these serpent-like or fucking whatever they would show themselves as or appear to be, these fucking demons, the Nephilim, the remainder of some of the dead Nephilim being demons. That's fucking scary, bro.
I mean, I love the birds and stuff in my backyard, and I love watching the animals interact and stuff. But and there's hawks and ospreys, and these motherfuckers are trying to kill everything all the time. So like, I don't look at it and think, oh, it's so beautiful and lovely and idyllic. I look at it and think, wow, look how horrible it is, but how beautiful it is at the same time. So I mean, I don't need to see anything else in order to understand that pretty much everything is fucking horrible first, and then perhaps beautiful in spite of it. So yeah, I don't need to see anything else. I don't want to see anything else. I've seen too much as it is.
Right. It's a nightmare just looking at what's going on in the world, right?
Right.
The things that they can get away with, the things that they can pull off. We could get into a whole bunch of stuff, but let's gong it up one more time. What do you think? We'll do a little double gong. Why not?
Oh my.
We can do what we want. But yeah, man, we get into some intense, like camping conversations there. Let's see what happens. We're down to rat.
Intense? Is that? Like, did you just do that?
Intense, like camping, bro.
Yeah. Confirmed you did that. Then go on. I mean, that's technically a pun. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I didn't know we were allowed to do those.
You didn't know. I don't know why I still think it's funny. It's not new. All right, we gotta give us a T.
The other two.
Traders.
I mean, that's the word itself. Yeah. Traders.
Right.
There's
highlighting Shelley.
Well, that was the word she chose. That was what she paid for. I didn't mean to imply that she's a trader. I'm saying she chose that word and sponsored it.
No, we wanted to highlight that she wanted to make sure that we highlighted the traders. And so, yeah, this is a fitting one to end on. Considering.
Is it not? It is, I think, the most important word currently in the American vernacular.
Absolutely.
Because while I think that there are way more heinous crimes that are occurring, with respect to children, those are almost impossible to prove to an evidentiary standard because of the way our corrupt ass court system is. Treason, on the other hand, is not. I mean, the first season of this show has proof of treason. You know what I mean? There's proof of treason everywhere on the internet. It's unbelievable. Right. Even the AI that isn't self-aware, you can say, go and find me proof of treason, and they can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. It's everywhere. And nothing has been done about it, apparently,
Yeah, nothing is being done about it. You can see it everywhere. I mean, like that's the thing. Like so many people are participating in these even on the smaller scale, but on a important scale. Ever since Trump came in and talked about fake news and pushed a lot of people towards alternative media, now you have a lot of traders that are smaller platforms. Some of them very large platforms, of course, but all the way down into like what I experienced. They are the new layer of protection for pedophiles, for human traffickers, and they're selling you Galactic Federation. They're selling you horse shit. They're selling you white hats behind the scenes saving the world. Nothing is real. Everything's a fucking movie. Now everything could be a very well a movie, but I think it's more of a movie by the powers that be, and the powers that be are not good in any shape, way, or form. These people are selling you white hats. Good guys are in control of everything, and they're letting a movie play out for the normies to wake up. That to me is being a traitor. You're a fucking traitor, and that's why I've gone so ham. I've lessened, like I did the Grifter Shamathon that has now evolved and matured into the Oracular series with a much more actionable steps of pointing out these traitorous people and organizations and the events that have occurred that is treasonous and traitorous. So we'll see what happens going forward, but I hope more people start waking up to this shit, because I'm actually really shocked that more people have not disconnected from some of the hopium teats that are out there, because these people are pushing some of the dumbest fucking shit that is out there. And I point it out and I get hated on. And some people appreciate it, but most people that appreciate it already know. So then it's just old news. They don't care anymore. They're just ready to move on and figure out solutions. And that's another thing that we're trying to do, which is part of the Oracular series, and that the whole point of that whole thing.
Well, you got to remember, based on tonight's Biscuits loves 4chan, right? A lot of the hate that you say you get whenever you call these people out, it's probably not real people. It's probably people pretending to be real people so that they can make it look like real people respect and defend these fake ass grifters, you know. A lot of interactions online are fake. They're meant to lead people, you know, to be like a Pied Piper. Whenever somebody like you starts calling out some of these grifters, I mean, they've got botnets that watch the shows, and they've got botnets that defend them.
Right.
I mean, there's no question about it.
Hi. What's up, Colin? Yes, April and I agree. Teats are good though.
It's
As long as they're not filled with fucking poison, like a lot of these people are putting out there. But you can see
nothing worse than a poisoned teat.
Right?
I mean,
a teat that looks succulent and lovely.
Oh.
You
a succulent Chinese teat?
Hey, why not? We had perineum sunbathing on this episode, and this was quite the episode that we had here today. But yes, calling out trades is going to be the name of the game. That is what we're going to also do on Saturday. So remember, the Oracular series continues with Dean, Biscuits, and I at 11 a.m. Central and 12 p.m. noon. And we're going to continue. Now, this is going to be the traitorous organizations, and I don't know how else you want to frame that.
Get off those poison teats and get on to ours.
Please. Remove your lips from the poisonous teats.
Try these teats, y'all.
Come to our succulent teats here at the Who does not want a gong?
This is a mark.
Come and wrap your lips around the gong teat.
Succulent teats.
Oh,
I did want to also, on a serious note,
yes.
with respect to treason and traitors, I want to point out that I understand that some people they think that their options are limited with respect to extraterrestrial beings to just the Galactic Federation, which is, in my opinion, a treasonous collection of space aliens. But you can send your money to the Universal Consortium, which is a patriotic bunch of space aliens. I'm their sole representative here on Earth, as I've said on many occasions. So send your money to me. I'll get it to them. Don't waste it with the Galactic Federation. Those aliens are terrible. Those are the bad aliens. Universal Consortium are the trustworthy aliens. We're going to compete with on every front with all these drifters. We've got our own aliens, you know?
Right. We've got to remove people from the Galactic Federation team.
Right. If you need aliens, if you absolutely must have aliens involved in your revolution, then please consider the Universal Consortium instead of as a patriotic substitute for the treasonous spacefaring golem known as the Galactic Federation. I mean, I think we've had enough of those guys. I think everybody agrees.
I hope so, man. I mean, I think they're inflating the numbers on those shows, but they still are getting pushed. They're still in the truther movement going hard with guys like Gene Decode and the Carrie Cassidy's and them. Ishmael Perez, I saw an interesting video where his girlfriend came out and made him admit that they've been having an affair behind his wife's back. And these people are all scum of the earth. They are the traitors.
Which just goes to show you
at this point.
It goes to show you how fucked up the Galactic Federation is. That's who they'd be talking to. You see what I mean? This is like, these are the worst aliens. Get off those teats.
Get off those teats. Get onto our teats.
Oh yeah, we got to see the intro now.
And now, the season of the Gong episode 4 is going out with the intro. And I hope you all enjoyed your time here on March 24th, 2026. And look forward to Saturday, like we said. 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. noon. The Oracular series with Dean, Biscuits, and I. It continues. So
Hello and welcome. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Yes, welcome for you are at the ending that is also the beginning, as you will soon see. God bless you all.
Good night, everybody.